Hi guys, happy Phaser Friday. Today we're going to look at adding release values into presets so that we can go from a color back to a release preset, making it really easy to use these in many different sequences across your show. Let's go. Okay, so right now I have a cue sequence here with just my LED wall with a bunch of different colors, just so we have a bunch of different kind of bases to go with. And this will allow us to kind of see what's happening with these release values. So release, if you're not familiar with release already, this is a value that can be put on any attribute from dimmers to shapers, right? And so it's something that can be found in the calculator under specials. There's going to be a release value here. You're going to see that it actually activates a release value. So I can see that that happens in my encoder toolbar. You'll see it in your fixture sheet as well. You'll also notice that this is a keyword that can be gotten to from your keys. So if you hit delete 3 times, this actually puts a release in the command line, and then anything you click on will apply that release. So if I press delete 3 times and click on color, this actually apply that release value to all of color. I can apply it per attribute. I can apply it to the whole fixture. So I could say literally release fixture 1. And then it applied that release value to everything. So this is something, it's actually stored into your queues. And because it's something stored into our queues, it means it's something that I love to actually have a preset for. So you can keep this as a preset on individually. So you could have one for dimmer, color, gobo, whatever, or you could have an all preset that you use. It doesn't matter. Like I said, if it fits in your workflow, then that's what you should be using. And okay, so I actually am gonna create for our examples release. I'm gonna put that in the command line and I'm gonna click on color. And so I have release for RGB, and I'm going to actually store this as a universal preset, right? Because this is something that would work the same for every fixture that has these attributes. So I can store this universally right here to my color preset pool, and I'm gonna call this guy release. And then with the parentheses, just because that's kind of how it looks in your tracking sheet. But anyway, I digress. Okay, so release, I now have it as a preset, so it's something that I can work with. And because it's a preset, it just kind of works like any other preset, right? So my LED wall, I grab it here, and I'm gonna go from white in step 1 to release in step 2. So you can see automatically that this white didn't have the parentheses around it, but as soon as you do, this means it's automatically integrating them into the steps of your phaser. So step 1, says to white. I have this like purple indicator here with the text in the encoder toolbar to let me know it's referencing a preset. And then step 2, it's referencing this release preset. So now that it is doing this, I can just store this as one of these awesome template phasers here. So it's going to store universally because these are both values that can be used universally. Now I have this white to release preset here. So it's white and then it's releasing back to the red. So if I go to my next key where it's pink and I grab my LED wall and I run the same thing, it's going to go white back to that pink. So that's what that release is doing. It's allowing it to go back to the value that's underneath it, kind of opening up the door to that value that's below it at the moment. Now, this is something that I can just do over and over again so that I have a bunch of bases that I can work with. So maybe I'm going to grab my LED wall and I want one that goes from red to release. But like we said in our, oops, sorry. But I click on it and then forget to press the button that I want to click. There's an awesome button that I use all the time on the console. It's called step. So when you have step in the command line and you're holding it down, it's something I can't hold down on PC. But when you're holding it down on a console and then you go do just what I did, except forgot I wasn't on a console, then you can just go click from red to release and it would actually make those steps. So try it on a console. You'll be very pleased with that. Anyway, back to what I was doing. First step is red, second step is release. Now, what I didn't do with this white here was, right, we want all these other values in that we also want to be adjusted. So what do I want my speed to automatically be set to when I click on this preset, right? I'm gonna turn my shortcuts off because they're messing me up. And then I'm going to turn measure on, maybe set it to 1. Like I said, this is going to be set to what works best for you. So please work on what makes sense in your workflow. Transition, I'm going to leave my transition at its defaults. So let's just activate it here. Oh, let's activate it for both steps. And then width, I'm just going to activate it. And then this is just going to kind of be my base for this phaser that I can work with. So now I'm going to store this here. Maybe name this red to Now I'm gonna activate my red to release here, and now I'm gonna hop back into step 1. And now if I click on pink, it doesn't know to automatically integrate it. It just goes, oh, hey, you want me to be pink? Cool, I'll like wipe out everything else. You're like, not cool, it's not what I wanted. So we're gonna actually oops that, so my phaser is running again. And this is when we use the keyword integrate. If you're not familiar with integrate, this is found when you hold down MA and press the @ key. So that's where integrate is gonna be found. Puts it in the command line. Now we can integrate magenta into step 1. And that was a terrible example because now it's going from magenta to magenta. But magenta to release, let's clear out the programmer, hit go on this cue, and now I can grab my LED wall. We can go from magenta to release. Now it's going to go from magenta to blue. So as you can see, you can just kind of keep repeating this process till you have all of the base color phasers you want. I am so sorry, my dog has decided her squeaker is a really good thing to squeak during a YouTube video. So thank you, Rory, over there. But if you could hear that in the background, she's having a great time. If not, thank you for coming to another installment of Phaser Friday. I hope color to release makes sense. You can apply this to any attribute that you want, and I'll see you next week.